All right, guys, welcome to the Fantasy Sports Wrap, episode 41 on the eve, literally like an hour from our fantasy football draft. We're going to talk a little fantasy baseball.
It's closer than the eve,
Yeah, it's here.
actually. We're like under an hour, under T minus 60 minutes.
Isn't it weird how we were like, oh, definitely going to do baseball. We love baseball. And then we're like, yeah, we're not really big on football. Okay, let's do it. And now I'm kind of like, yeah, baseball's over. Let's do football. I'm kind of ready to be done with it, even though I'm still in the race.
You want to switch places? I'll go to the playoffs.
You want to run
I
my
want to go to
team?
the
I'll
playoffs.
send my team. I'll send the loopers over to you and see if you can run them into the
Yeah,
ground for the final 4 weeks.
I'll run you into a pair of O10s.
I'll just look up and you'll have traded, like you'll have dropped Correa because he went 0 for 4 one day, and Michael Brantley will be on the waiver wires again. Crazy. Well, this week was not the best for you. It had the opportunity to be the best because nobody in the East wants to win 100 games. It's almost like it's a pariah if you're in the East and you win 100 games. Schuff is on the verge of going 2-7-1 to me. Pride is on the verge of going 4-6-0 to Domorowski. And Racers is on the verge of going 4-6-0 to Tower. I say on the verge because there's still one game going on tonight. Well, are the Diamondbacks still playing, or are they?
They are done.
They're done? Okay.
Yeah, they are
So
done.
so one game left, and that's where we stand. Docs and Jocks, of course, rolling 9-1-0. Mounties, not only having a great 8-1-1, but man, look at the numbers they put up. Where'd that come from? Guys decided to start playing.
Yeah, Monster Week.
Monster
Buzzsaw.
Week.
Buzzsaw.
Yeah, I think that might be buzzsaw of the week. It's 8-1-1, but boy, Britain had to do everything in their power just to get back in it. I was hoping they'd get one more home run. Goldie came up with a man on it. Thought, walk off right here, tie that category, because we'll talk about the East in a minute, because that's where all the drama is. In the West, Docs and Jocks, Tower, they're in, no problems. Mountie's going to pick up a game, maybe a game and a half on me. He's 6.5 back now, so it'll be 5.5, which is a lot still to make up in 1 week. So I feel pretty safe. But for a while there, it looked like it might even only be 2 or 3 games back. But so McKinsey and I still fighting for that final spot. But I'm definitely in the driver's seat. If I lose it, I deserve it. Slammers, Pride, Bandits just is out of it. And Racers, still with a shot. Still with a shot, but Slammers has to be the leader in the clubhouse, although he's only up a game or two.
10 games or less, baby. 10 games or less.
What are you going to be? What are you going to be at the end of this?
I'd
I
say
mean,
I
if it
was eight and
holds,
a half going into this week, and I'm going to pick up
like
a
what? Two games? 3
game
games?
and a half, it looks like.
That's it?
Yeah, I need you to go 2-8, and you didn't. Or he's going to go 2-7-1. I'm going 4-6, so that's a game and a half. So it puts me at 7 back. So it's pretty remote.
Well, the only
Yeah,
good thing you have going for you is that Schuff has had about 3 weeks of winning 1 or 2 games. So it's possible if he and Pride
yeah.
only
He's
win 1 or
he's
2 games and you reel off a 9-1 against Domorowski, it could happen. But yes, it's very improbable. It's more likely that it'll be Slammers or Pride, because Pride's going to be what, just 2 games back?
they're picking up.
Picking up
Well,
2,
they're
right?
picking up a game and a half too, huh?
Oh, that's it? Okay. So they're
I
going to
think
be
so.
basically 2.5 back, which is definitely doable. So we'll have to watch that
Two
down
and a
the
half
stretch.
back, and I'm going to be. What did we say? 7 back.
Yeah, 7 or 7.5, I
I
think.
got to jump 2 teams in the last week. Ain't gonna happen.
Well, I tell you what, like I said, the good news is neither of those teams are putting up any kind of
You know,
numbers.
they're really coming into the stretch drive here in the playoffs, not firing on all cylinders at all. They're not playing well at all. My team, on the other hand, of course, I'm finally starting to play, but it's too late. My pitching was a killer this week, though, man. It just killed me. Absolutely killed me. And it started off bad. 2 guys I picked up for 2 starts, and they both got hammered. They shouldn't have. They've been pitching good, but they got wrecked.
Have you
And
found
then
have you found this year that, like, when your pitching was great, your offense struggled, but when your offense was great, your pitching struggled? It didn't seem like you ever really put together a week where they were both on at the same time.
Yeah, I have to agree with that for the most part. Yeah.
Yeah, and that's what Docs and Jocks, that's why they're dominating. That's why Tower's dominating. Whenever I've had a big week, or like Mounties this week, it's when, they've obviously, it sounds dumb to say, but they've both been on. It just seems that it happens with Docs and Jocks and Tower every week that they're both on. The other good news you have going for you is Pride's playing Mounties, coming off basically a 9-1, and Slammers is playing Tower.
Yeah.
So,
But I'm playing Domorowski, so you know how
yeah,
my
you're
history
going to,
with
yeah.
them. I can't even beat him.
You know, the bad thing for me is I'm playing Bandits, and Pat usually plays me pretty tough. I don't know why. It's like the second time I played him in like 3 weeks or 4 weeks. I don't get the scheduling. But with Mounties playing Pride, if Pride rolls over and Mounties pulls off another 9-1 and I drop like a 3-7, I'd be out of this thing. I'd be out of the playoffs. The Loopers and the Racers crying in their beer while everybody else is playing. And you know what? If that was the case, we wouldn't talk about baseball. We'd just be talking football the rest of the way.
Yeah.
Over.
I'd pretty much take the fantasy baseball side out of my bookmarks. I won't even look at it anymore.
I'm going to make a prediction right now.
Yeah.
Neither Tower nor Docs and Jocks, I'm looking right at the camera, neither Tower nor Docs and Jocks will win in the playoffs. There will be an upset. I pray.
Are they going to lose in the first round?
To the good Lord, that an Eastern Division team that can't even amass 100 wins, there's going to be 4 teams in the West with 100 wins after tonight. I don't think any team in the East is going to get 100 wins, even the one that goes into the playoffs. I pray that one of you guys doesn't come out and win the whole thing, get hot at the right time. But that's all it would take. You get hot at the right time, somebody else slows down.
That's all that matters.
I just think Tower and D&J have had it so easy, so well. It reminds me of, 6-7 years ago when I was playing, I was beating everybody by a ton. I swept through the first round. I think I almost put up a 10-0 one week. I was crushing everybody. I meet Shuff in the playoffs, and he nibbled around like a 5-5 the first week or a 6-4. I barely beat him, and then he beat me the last week. All my guys. And everybody's like, why didn't you make more moves? Why didn't you do more? And I'm like, that's not my game. I'm not going to drop A-Rod, who was killing it at the time, to grab some guy who may or may not get hot. They all went in the tank. Or I had guys who were in the playoffs already, so they started resting him like 2 or 3 days in a row to prepare for the playoffs. Yeah. I think that might happen to Docs and Jocks. I really do.
There's nothing you can do if you start going bad in the playoffs, because like you said, you don't want to, if you've been sitting with the same team for the most part, you're not really into playing hot players. The last thing you want to do is start screwing around, and then the players that have been doing it for you all year are performing on your bench, or you've let them go, and all of a sudden they start turning around. You got to stick with it. That's just part of it.
Yeah, it just happens. And Shuff had a really good team that year too. I mean, it wasn't like he was some bum like he is this year. I will say this though, we were taken aback when we were looking at Shuff's matchups and stuff. I think he's got to win the award for the MASH unit. I think he's had more injuries and more important people get hurt than any team, probably by a long shot. He's
really taking it on the chin. I mean, he's got Teixeira's day-to-day. Hanley Ramirez is now day-to-day. Stanton's been out forever. Shortly after we made the trade, it looks like Strasburg. He
get hurt again.
Upper back discomfort. So
Billy Hamilton. Shuff was. I mean, he would have beat me in steals this week. We're tied now, and he still could. But he would have crushed me in steals if Hamilton was playing.
Yeah.
I mean, he only lost by 2 home runs to me, 3 home runs. If Stanton's staying, he's good for 3 or 4 home runs. I think that Stanton and Teixeira have hurt him a lot. Teixeira has been hitting very well for him, and those, I think those have hurt him quite a bit.
Yeah, it hurts from production. I mean, today he had 3 guys that didn't play.
Yeah,
because of injuries. Actually, Turner, I think he's not hurt.
He's playing. He's not playing tonight?
They screw around with him. No, he's not playing.
Oh, good. I was afraid he'd get on and steal a base. I really need a guy to steal a base. That would help you out too. It'd turn one of those that tie into a win for me if I could just get one steal.
Who do you have left? Agon?
A Fowler. Well, yeah. Watch Agon steal a base. That's when you know it's going bad, when the guy against you has some guy who's. I was looking at Turner to only stole 1 base all year, and I'm like, that guy's gonna get a steal tonight. I guarantee it. He's only had 1 all year. He'll probably just steal. But
so if you get a steal tonight, you're going to be at that'll give you an 8-2.
An 8-2, yeah. It'll give you another half game, right?
Get me down to 6.5. I'll take anything I can get at this point.
Yeah, I can't really do anything else. He crushed me. I did think that Shuff, we were both monkeying around with our pitching staffs, and I was fortunate that day I pitched 3 guys. They all did well. I think they all 3 got wins, and I had enough strikeouts where I knew it'd be tough for him, so he benched his starters a couple days. And by Thursday, I realized I can't beat him in saves, and I can't he's not going to catch me in strikeouts and wins. So I think Friday, Saturday, Sunday, for sure Saturday, Sunday, I benched all my guys, all my pitchers that were going to pitch, except for my starters who weren't going to schedule a throw, because I had already got an ERA. And he didn't bench all his guys. I think he was trying to say, hey, I'll pitch some guys. I'll see if I can bring down my ERA to win that and then save whip. What happened was Strasburg got hit and his whip went up, and so I ended up winning ERA and whip. So he took a chance to try to win a couple of categories and didn't pay off for him, helped me out. But I think that's what Schuff's going to have to do in the playoffs because he does not have a good pitching staff of starters. He's got great relievers. His relievers hardly ever get blown up. But he's going to have to try to get that saves, ERA, and whip, and that's tough to do. I mean, this week he only got one of them, trying to do that. It's very hard to do. So, all right, final predictions. I made my predictions, Deron. I say that it's going to be Doxson, Jocks, Tower. I don't know who to predict in the East, but I don't think either of those guys are going to win the championship. I think we're going to be crowning a champion in outside of those two top teams. That's my prediction.
Outside of the West top teams?
It's either going to be me, Mounties, or whoever gets in the East is going to beat them.
I'm going to predict my prediction, you and Dale in the playoffs, and you beat them.
That means I'm not making the playoffs.
I mean the championship.
That means I'm not making the playoffs. You just cursed me. I mean, with that prediction, it means Mounties is going to come reel off a 10-0 and beat me.
No, he's not gonna. No.
If that happened, if it was Dale and I in the playoffs, I would bet my house that Dale would beat me. With half his team hurt, with everybody out, for some reason, he had no business beating me 5 years ago. 6 years ago, he'd beat me again, and it would drive me insane.
I had earlier this year, I had a matchup with him, and the same thing. I was like going, "Oh man, he's got some guys that are hurt, and this is going to work out perfectly," and it just totally blew up in my face. Just nothing. Just he beat me.
I know. Nothing you can do about it.
It's really I don't know what to say about it anymore. But.
Well, Deron,
it's been a long year. I'm looking forward to football. I am. Got my Vikes shirt on, ready for the draft.
Yeah. You know who you're taking? You got the second pick in the draft. I don't know. I don't know if Peterson's going to be gone in the first round. We're a PPR league, so I'm not sure Peterson as the overall first pick is a great choice.
Well, if he doesn't go, then Adam Johnson just lied to my face today at the women's soccer game because he said he's taking him.
I don't think Adam would lie to your face. He'd lie behind your back. You got to watch that guy. No, I'm just kidding.
Yeah.
Okay, so who are you taking then? Let's say Peterson's gone. Who are you taking? This isn't going to drop until after, anyways.
Yeah.
Because it's going to take me 8 hours to download it or upload it. You're taking Lacey, right? Or
I don't know.
If it was me and I had the 2 pick and Peterson went, I would take Lacey or Charles. I would take Charles, but because he catches the ball more.
Mm-hmm.
You're not big on Lacey though. You're a little uncertain about him, aren't you?
Well, I don't know.
Not sure who else you take there. You could shock everybody and go Antonio Brown or something. I mean, it's a PPR league, so if Brown catches 100 balls and goes for 1,300 yards, that's 230 points right there. Outside of touchdowns.
Yeah.
Not many running backs are going to score 230 points. Think about it. If Lacey goes 1,200 yards, that's 120 points in our league, right? If he catches 50, now he's at 170. And if he catches 50 for 500 yards, now he's at 220 outside of touchdowns. Antonio Brown could get you 230, 240 outside of touchdowns because he's going to catch 100 balls.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I will tell you this. I have been thinking Matt Forte at 8, but he caught 100 passes last year. Is he going to do that again? I don't think so. But, man, I have been kind of flirting with the whole Julio Jones at 8 and then Calvin, Megatron at 17.
Forte caught 100 balls last year?
Yeah.
Because I had him on one of my teams, and, there were some weeks where he was just doing nothing. So if he returns to his...
Was it a PPR league?
No, it wasn't.
Yeah, that's why. He was catching balls, but he'd only go for like 80 yards combined. But he'd have 10 catches.
Yeah.
So in a non-PPR league, you lose out on 10 points. But that's the thing with these guys. In the PPR league, even like a guy like John Brown for the Cardinals, he's going to catch 55, 60 balls. That's 60 points right off the get-go.
Yeah. Yeah.
I know. That's why I had been thinking running back. I'll take Forte, and I was in a mock draft, and some guy said, "Why are you taking Forte at 8?" And he wasn't being a jerk, so I was like, "Well, who would you take?" And he's like, "I'd go receiver, because Julio Jones is always there."
Now I have him. Maybe this is I don't know. Maybe this is the projections, because on ESPN here it says that receiving for Forte was he had 65 catches You sure he caught 100? 100's a lot for a running back.
Those are his projected stats, right?
See, I'm not. I don't.
Not his 2013 stats.
Projections. I don't know. I'm not really big on this site so far.
What side are you on?
I'm on ESPN. I'm on I'm on the fantasy site.
I'm not huge on ESPNs either. Okay, so if I go here, let me look at projections. I go to fantasypros.com. Fantasypros.com. Let me see. Stats last year for him. He got 102 passes for 808 yards.
Jeez.
So if he did that again, that's 180 points right there, and he ran for 1,000. That's 280 points.
Maybe I'll take Forte.
I wish you would, because then other guys are going to drop.
Huh.
I don't think he'll catch 100 again, but who knows? Maybe he will. I doubt it. That's a lot for a receiver. That's way better than anybody else. But I don't think that's why I don't think Peterson is he going to. How many balls is he going to catch? I mean, you double up. You double up on your points on a PPR league because every pass they catch, if they go 10 yards, it's 2 points instead of just 1.
Right.
That's why I think Lacey, he's going to catch the ball more. Le'Veon Bell, maybe, I don't know.
Well, let's see. How many receptions? Yeah, Peterson's not, he's going to be more of your grinded out. His top year for receptions, he had 43 receptions in 2009. He had 29 in 2013, 40 in 2012. So, and he's not, he's going to be more year. He'll catch occasionally, but yeah.
Better get 1,700 yards and about 15, 16 touchdowns, right? Well, now check this out. Antonio Brown has been going really high. Last year, 129 catches, 1,700 yards. So that's 200. That's 300 points.
He's a PPR monster.
300 points and 13 TDs. So you had another, 6 times 13? Another 80 points. That's 380 points. That's better than quarterbacks. If he drops to 8, I'll grab him, but I don't think that's what I'm thinking about Julio Jones, and then but then I'm like, who do I take at the running back position? There's nobody left, when they start going around.
Well, that's the problem. Yeah, you grab a receiver in the first round like that, and Brown's not going to be there obviously when it comes back around to me because I got the second pick, and if I mess around with a receiver, I'm basically the running backs are going to be gone because it's going to take it'll take forever for me to the draft to get back around to me and the snake. So I'll probably go with Charles. I think he's probably the logical choice.
Yeah, I mean, I hope he doesn't get hurt. That's the only thing with him. He's not as big a back, but
well, and that's my thing with Lacey though. The guy had a couple concussions I think last year, and I'm concerned about that too. What's the offense going to be like? How's that going to look now without Jordy Nelson?
He only caught 42 passes last year.
Who's that?
Lacey.
Where are you looking? What stats are you looking at?
I look at fantasypros.com, and then I click on their PPR, cheat sheets, and I printed them out by position and then by overall. I mean, for PPR overall, they have Bell, Peterson, Charles, Brown, Lacey, Jones, Demarius, Gronkowski, which I don't get, Des Bryant, Odell Beckham, Matt Forte, Marshawn Lynch.
Mm-hmm.
So who you picked 2 and what? 2 and then 23?
Yeah.
They have T.Y. Hilton in there at 20. That'd be pretty nice. If you go Jamal Charles, T.Y. Hilton, and you come back around and grab Frank Gore or something like that. Jordan Matthews. Man, you'd have some pretty good players, Darren. You could possibly go Charles and then T.Y. Hilton or Hopkins. Yeah, but it's a long wait, dude. You see guys when I'm between my 17th and then I pick 32nd, it's just like, ew, brother.
Yeah.
All right, man.
I might go have dinner after my first pick and then come back and see what's going on.
Yeah, you probably can. Then it'll auto draft for you and you'll get like some slub. So.
Look at Jordy Nelson.
All right, man. Well, 1 week to go in fantasy baseball. We'll do a midweek when we'll probably have a good idea of who's making the playoffs. This is a playoff run, but our midweek will probably focus more on fantasy football. Might even get together tonight after the draft and do a fantasy football draft recap and drop them at the same time as this one. So
That'd be kind of cool.
yeah. So check it out, guys. All right, Darren. Good luck. Well, I guess
You
not
too,
tonight.
Pod.
Good luck next week. Good luck in your draft.
Yeah, that's at the forefront right now.
I'll be interested to see what you do. I might actually. I know I was going to maybe get it together at your house and Periscope, but I might just Periscope it from my cloths here, and then tell everybody to join me and make fun of everybody's.
Cloths. I like that. Cloths.
Yeah, it's a walk-in closet. Yeah, but I made it my office, a cloffice. Okay. All right, Darren, have a good one. I'll see you in about 45 minutes at the draft.
Sounds good,
All
Pat.
right, bye. Thanks, guys. Yep.